Hi guys, I'm back. It has been a long time since I last uploaded. A year maybe even longer. Guys, so much has happened in the last year. I cannot tell you. Joey is now 2.5. We're potty trained. I'm back at work full time. We are moving house. I ran a London marathon. Not a London marathon, I ran the London marathon. Life is just pretty full on at the moment. Hi, welcome back. As I said, we're moving house, so I figured that now was a really good time for me to come back to YouTube and start documenting the whole process. Those of you that have been around a little while will know that for as long as I have been on my little corner in the internet, I have wanted to move house. This is something that has been in the works for a long time. I've lived in this house 10 years now. My husband has lived in here longer, and we are ready to move. As we said, Joey is 2.5 now, so next year we're going to start applying for schools. We didn't really want him to be going to school around where we live now. We wanted that more village, country kind of slower life. It's always been something that we've wanted to do, but now it's actually happening. Guys, this is a whole story in itself. This vlog is very much going to be like, let's have a big catch up. So let's start with the dog barking. Of course, the dog's barking. Let's go let Bruce in. Does anyone else who's Labrador eat their own poo, or is it just mine? I googled it once and it said that it was like possibly like a deficiency and this, that and the other, but I've taken him to the vets and they're like, no, he's just gross. So I just have a gross dog, which is great, but he comes inside and oh my God, I cannot explain to you how awful his breath smells. This is not okay. And now he's gonna sit and he's gonna have the biggest drink of his life. So all you're going to hear is him like, so I'm very sorry about this. Let's just hang on and wait, shall we? In your own time, Brucey. Okay, Bruce has stopped drinking. Where were we? Okay, so moving house, right. Whew. This has been a journey. We were originally planning on moving in September. This has always been the plan. We have always said 2025, autumn, we will move. That's where we'll go. However, basically, if you follow me on Instagram, you might have already seen this, and so I'm sorry if this is very repetitive, but basically, it has been a hobby of mine forever to look on Rightmove. It's also a hobby of my mother's. It's obviously an inherited little hobby there. I do the lottery on a Friday night, I do the Euro Millions, and then I spend my night looking at houses that are like 20 million pounds. I then kit them out. Guys, I am so sad that on one occasion, I found a house that I was completely and utterly in love with. I then spent the evening choosing carpets, choosing sofas, choosing beds. I made a whole Pinterest board based on how I would decorate this house. I then went on Net-a-Porter and added £48,000 worth of clothes to my basket. And then I went on the Land Rover website and built myself a whole Land Rover Defender, and went on the Jaguar website and built myself a Jaguar F-Pace too. So I clearly have problems. I have had therapy since then. But Rightmove is a hobby, okay? And basically this house came up, which was literally everything we have ever wanted in a house. It was a bit further out than we wanted. We were looking to move to a village like 10 minutes away from where we are now, and it was like where I grew up and all the rest of it, but then actually this was like more 25 minutes away. It wasn't too far, but it was like different catchment area for the schools that we wanted, etc, etc, etc. Anyway, I got a bit carried away because I fell in love with this house. Like, to tell you about it, it was a character property, which is something that we really want. It was like this big Georgian house, so much parking. It had all like wisteria growing up the front. It was beautiful, done to a really nice high standard. And it was within our budget. And when I say within our budget, we weren't entirely sure what our budget was at this point. But we had worked a few things out. We'd done one of those, you know, like Barclays and Nationwide, and they have like these calculators on their website where it's like, how much could I borrow? So we did like a very hypothetical budget, and it was within our budget. It was the top end of our budget, but it was there. I fell in love with this house. Like, guys, when I say I fell in love, I fell in love. It was a problem. And then one night I was bored, so I did a 12-page pitch deck and presented to Marco why this house was perfect for us, why we should go look at it. I did a breakdown of the finances, I did a breakdown of amenities in the area, how many minutes it would take to get to our family's houses, where the local supermarket was, what takeaways were within the area and delivered to that address. It was an impeccable pitch deck, and by some miracle I convinced Marco that it was worth going to look at this house. So we did, and we went to look at this house. It was beautiful. It didn't need any work doing to it, don't get me wrong, it wasn't decorated to my taste, but it wasn't anything major. It was literally paint, flooring, nothing overly expensive. The bathroom, the kitchen, beautiful, like it was so nice. And so we came home and we were like, okay, let's do it. So things went 0 to 100 really quick, and we spoke to a mortgage advisor, we got an agreement in principle, we had estate agents come around to value our house, etc, 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 and once our house had been valued and we'd instructed, we put an offer in on the dream house. They didn't accept our offer, so we put in a higher offer. They still didn't accept our offer. We spoke to the estate agent, and basically it was up for like a guide price, and that's fine. The guide was pretty big, and they literally wanted the top of that guide, and at this point weren't willing to accept anything less. So we were a little bit like, well, why is there a guide and not an asking price over? But that's a conversation for another day. And at that point we were like, well, you know, it is perfect and it's everything that we want, but based on other houses that have sold in that area of a similar caliber, it is not worth what they are asking for. So we were like, do you know what? No, it's clearly not the house for us. Let's see how things go. If it's still on the market in a few months' time, let's go for it. But by this point, we'd instructed the estate agents. We'd kind of got in our head that we wanted to move, and that actually it did make sense, if you like, to move forward for a lot of different reasons. So we just thought, sod it, let's go ahead and let's do it. So our house went on the market on, I think it was the Friday. It was a Friday. We had, within half an hour of our house going live, we had got 3 viewings booked for the Saturday and another 3 booked for the Monday. A couple came round on the Monday to view our house, and by Tuesday morning they had put an offer in full asking price and we'd accepted. So our house sold very quickly, and at that point we were like, woohoo, this is great, our house has sold. And then we were like, oh shit, now we have to buy a house and we have to find a house. And literally, it has been the quietest month ever when it comes to houses coming on the market. Like, our estate agents were like, we have not known it be this quiet for a long time. Obviously, there's all this like hurrah about Trump's tariffs and things like that. Anyway, it was all like, oh my God, what do we do? What do we do? Nothing was coming up. We went and viewed a few properties that I'd had saved for a while. There was one that we really liked the house, but we didn't really like the location. We obviously extended our kitchen. A big kitchen is very important to me, and this house was beautiful. It was Georgian, it was so big, the garden was absolutely massive, but it was on a main road. It didn't really have that villagey feel that I was after. It didn't have a pub, which is very important to me. Your girl likes a wine. And so it wasn't the house for us. And then we had a look at a few others. We then found one that wasn't a character property. It wasn't going to be like a forever home. We saw it and we were like, okay, this is a kind of mid-budget property. It's nice, it's in a nice area, it's in the village we've been looking for. It was lovely. It needed a lot of work. So we were like, okay, well, maybe we can do a lot of work to it and we can make it what we want and stay here until Joey goes to secondary school and then move, or potentially stay. You know, it could be great, and we got ourselves quite excited for that, but then that didn't go to plan either and wasn't for us. We went for a second viewing on it and we noticed a lot more wrong with it than we thought, and the vendor was very set on the price. It's been on the market for like over a year, and the estate agents even said, like, you know, he's sat on this price and nobody is willing to go there. So that was fine. So we carried on looking and we carried on looking, and then we found this property that is further out than we thought, complete other way to where we were looking, but it is village, it is countryside, it is everything, literally everything we wanted in terms of a location. There are pubs, there are shops, coffee shops, this, that and the other, but it still has that like real village countryside feel. And we'd seen a few properties there and I was a bit reluctant. There was one that was like a complete reno, and then there was another one that was a partial reno. and then one that was done up to a really nice standard. So, and then there was another one as well that was also a cottage. It was quite big, but was a bit further out. It's actually classed as the next county. So we went and had a look at that one first, that was in the next county, and it was a beautiful house. It just wasn't for us. We just didn't really get that wow factor when we were there. And then we went and saw the one that was done up really nicely, but that was really, really small. It was a lot smaller than we thought it was, so we just knew it wouldn't work. And then we saw the big reno. And the big reno, we were pretty sold on doing. Like, we'd found it on Rightmove. We were really like, okay, this is what we could do, this and the other. Like, we bought the title register to have a look at what the restrictions were. We did a lot of research into this house, but then when we got there, we just weren't feeling it. Like, I can't really explain it. Like, we were walking around and it was like, it was beautiful, and it was this, you know, a cottage. It wasn't listed, so we had that freedom to do the work that we wanted to do to it. The bits that we weren't going to extend were quite small, and then there was just more work than we thought there was. And although we had quite a sizable budget to do the renovation, we were a bit like, I don't think we're going to be able to do everything that we want to do here. And we just left feeling a little bit like, yeah, it's nice, but meh, is kind of how we felt. And neither of us wanted to leave our home for meh and something that our hearts weren't really in. And then there was this other house that Marco had looked at a few times, and the photos just weren't that great, and we were a bit like, oh, I don't know. And then we thought, do you know what, nothing else is coming up, so sod it, let's go look at it. And we fell in love. Like, literally, guys, I'm talking early 1800s cottage. It has got so much character, so much character. It is beautiful. It has been owned by the same man for so long, and it is just everything. Like, it has every single thing that we want. And we walked in, and there is work to be done. Like, don't get me wrong, we are not moving into like a perfect house. There is a lot to be done, but they aren't like huge jobs. Like, we're not knocking down walls and this and the, actually, yes, we are. There is a wall that we need to knock down. There's nothing absolutely major that needs doing. Survey pending, my friends. And we just fell in love. Like, I literally walked through the door and stood in the kitchen, and I just got that feeling, and I can't explain it, but everybody said to me, when you find that house, you will just have a feeling. And I did, and I just stood there and I was like, I'm at home here. And I was looking at this cooker thinking, I can see myself cooking Christmas dinner here. And it was like every room we went in, and that was the thing with the other cottage that we looked at that was in the kind of next county, that it was gorgeous. It was such a lovely house, and yet every single room I was looking at and I was thinking, I couldn't picture. I'm quite good at like picturing how I would decorate things and what I would do and where I would put things, but I was walking around and I was like, I'm not envisioning any of this. Like, I'm not looking at the garden and seeing Joey running around, and I'm not, you know, I just wasn't feeling it in that way. Whereas this house, every single room I went into, I could imagine. I walked into that living room and I knew where the Christmas tree would go. I knew kind of the colour scheme that I would go with in that room. I was imagining Joey in a room that could be his playroom, and we were just walking around and it was like just perfect. Like, I can't explain it. And we left and we went for a walk. We went for a walk around the village. We went to the local pub, had some lunch, and every time we've gone to see a house, we get in the car and we're like, right, what are your thoughts? And it's always a case of, you go first, no, you go first. So it got to the point where it was like, whoever asks first, that's how it goes. And we got there and I just said to Marco, like, what do you think? And he was like, I love it. And he was like, how did you feel? And I was like, I felt at home. And that was like the biggest thing, that this for us ticks every single box in every way, shape or form. It was the catchment area for the school that I want Joey to go to. Granted, it's a secondary school, we're well away from that, but it's within that catchment area. The primary schools in the like nearby are great. It has got the pub, like I say, it has everything. It's got the character, it's got the space, it's got all of it. And, you know, if our IVF doesn't work, then, you know, arguably we've got too many rooms. But in my head, I'm like, it's a 4-bed. And so in my head, I'm like, right, we want a guest room. We want an office. Like, they were things that we needed anyway. And it's one of those where it's like, well, if we don't have a baby, then maybe we've got a dressing room, or maybe we've got this, or we've got that. But anyway, we just fell in love with it. We put an offer in, it didn't get accepted, and you do the kind of the negotiations, don't you? And anyway, our offer got accepted. We've got the house, we've instructed solicitors. Our buyers are first time buyers, no chain on their side. Like, it is just when we're ready, they're ready. And the man that we're buying off, he's breaking the chain. So it's like us, we are the chain. And so everything has just kind of really fallen into place, and we have got what we actually think will be our forever home. Like, I cannot see us wanting to move out of this. Obviously, never say never, you never know what's gonna happen, but we have found the house of literally our dreams, and it, in my opinion, poos all over that first house that we looked at. Like, it is incredible. So my life is about to get really, really hectic again, because not only are we moving house, but we're also starting IVF again. We have a consultation coming up. We are just doing one transfer. We are doing one final transfer. We're going to, I think our plan is to defrost all 4 embryos, and then the best one we will transfer. We will hope for the best, and then that's it. It's done. I will either be having another baby or I won't be, but then that chapter of my life is over, and we will know what our family looks like. And so this is all wildly going to be on at the same time. And then once we've moved, we will start the work on the house. And so things are pretty crazy. As I said, I've also gone back to work full time, which is just wild. Good decision, best decision I could have made financially. We certainly wouldn't have got this house if I hadn't have gone back to work full time. Things are just wild. Things are just really, really wild. But I have made some changes. Obviously, I'm still doing the podcast, I'm still doing my social media. I've come back to YouTube, which, you know, is a crazy decision, really, when I complain about time. But I'm no longer marathon training. I have signed up for a half marathon in October. Would it be helpful? Right, well, I say helpful. So many of you on social media were really invested in the London Marathon and my training, and I'm really aware that I didn't really document that much of it other than like on stories and things like that. Shall I do a specific London Marathon Q&A for YouTube? If you want me to, let me know in the comments and I will do that, because I love talking about it. So it feels like a good thing to do. And if you're thinking about entering the ballot or doing it or doing any marathon, then maybe, or starting running or whatever, maybe it'd be really useful. So let me know in the comments. I am doing a half marathon, but the training for that I really enjoyed and found that a lot easier than doing the actual marathon. It wasn't as time consuming, but the marathon is done now. I've also stepped back from the campaign. I did a whole post about that on social media. I'll talk about that another day. I did talk about it on the podcast. So if you go and listen to I think the episode's called like the 2025 London Marathon Diary or something like that. If you go listen to that, I give you the lowdown on the marathon and the campaign. But now that's over, I do have a bit more free time. So that's that. But yeah, moving, renovating, IVF, all at once. Why not? But look, guys, she ran a marathon. Can you believe it? Can you believe I ran a marathon? There is my medal. I ran the entire thing slowly. I did it in 6 hours and 21 minutes, but I did the London Marathon. I am so sunburned. I am literally, my skin is shedding. My skin is shedding. I am like some kind of reptile. It is awful. Very slick Rick today. But I did a marathon. So I've now got the bug. I've got the bug, I'm running. But yeah, let me know if that video would be helpful. Anyway, I've just dropped Joey off at my father-in-law's. I am working today. I work flexibly, so this morning I managed to get a few bits done, and now I'm working until relatively late tonight. But now I need to make a coffee. Oh God. I just did. You know, like when you go to lean on the like on the island, and you're like, whew, or you go lean on a surface, maybe not an island, but you go to lean on a surface and you miss. That's what she did. Good morning. It's Sunday. I forgot I was vlogging, obviously, so I haven't filmed anything all weekend. I'm going to Milton Show today, which is like a horse dog show type thing. Near where I live. My dad and stepmom are quite involved in it. It's yeah, they ride and all the rest. So we're going there today, and then this afternoon we're off to see my mum. I've just got back from a run. It's my first run post-marathon. I only did 3K, and it felt great, to be totally honest with you. It felt really, really good to actually just go and just do a short distance before the day. I really don't have much time this morning. So yeah, it felt great. My glutes, however, are still really hurting. So I'm about to get ready now and then head out for the day. Yeah, it's been a fun weekend. I've gone viral, guys. I think you can class it as viral. I have had over 1 million views on a reel on Instagram where somebody had sent me a message saying that basically because I ran the marathon in over 6 hours, I basically just walked it, which isn't true. I ran the whole thing. You know, just in case I haven't mentioned that. I ran the whole thing. So anyway, I shared it. I shared that comment with a reel and like put the caption about how it's a load of bollocks and basically just bog off to this person, for lack of better words. And it's now reached like the wrong side of Instagram, and it started off with people like really being really supportive, and then I think I've spent like the last 12 hours like arguing with middle-aged men. Oh, it's great. What a time to be alive. And yeah, and now it's reaching people that don't know how the internet works and are reading this comment that somebody has sent me and thinking I've said it, and somebody's just commented on it like, you nasty bitch. And I was like, this isn't me saying it, guys. Oh my god, read the caption, please. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Anyway, on the subject of running, I did do a poll on Instagram and asked whether or not people wanted me to do a Q&A specifically regarding starting running and the marathon. So I am going to do that, so I'll get that filmed this week. It's good to be back. So I'm going to end the vlog here and just thought that, you know, we'd start off with a little catch up. And yeah, so thanks for being here. Let me know what you want to see in the comments. If there's any specific like house content or anything like that that you want to see moving forward. It's about to get really wild and really excited over here, really exciting over here, gang. So yeah, I'll see you soon.